So I was explaining the folder processes and why they are very important, right? So remember I said something. I said that for folders, it's also always good to save your file in a single folder, most especially in local drive, so that you can be able to access them and also you can be able to organize them properly. Now, let's look at some of the sources of GIS data. How do we source our data? Where do we get our data from? It's important that we find out. It's important that we find out. Some of the data we use in GIS can be gotten in through many, means. Some of these means are satellite imageries that are existing. Some of them can be digital elevation model. Some of them can be mapped. Some of them can be done using GIS, using GPS device. When you are gone to the field to collect your data, whether with your phone GPS or with your GPS device, handheld GPS device, you can be able to input them inside the GIS environment. But I'm going to do a short video on how to use a particular GPS on the phone to be able to get coordinates and save them, then export them, and later we can now look at how to import them within GIS environment. So you can also use existing maps. So what are existing maps? Existing maps are maps that have been drawn already. For instance, I might have drawn a map of Benin Republic, right? Let me show you a sample. I might have done a map of Benin Republic like this. This is a map of Benin Republic, and you saw the map online in this format, and you need to recreate the map. It becomes an existing map because you don't have the vector file. What you have is the raster imagery, because once you export to a picture format, it becomes a raster image. Once you scan with your scanner, it becomes a raster image. So these are called existing maps because they are already produced. Somebody have drawn them. So it's just for us to be able to use them. So they are called existing maps. So we can be able to do our mapping through this type of map, existing map. We can also be able to download the shape files from websites like Beaver GIS. If you go to Beaver GIS like here, you can be able to see download shapefile. For instance, this Beaver GIS, and I need to download shapefile. You see, select and download free geographic information system, geographic GIS data from any country. You can select Nigeria here. Select Nigeria. It will ask you which type of data do you want. You say, I want administrative area, which are boundary, showing you the demarcations of states and local governments and other things. You click on administrative area. You will see the file here. So once I click on this file here, it's going to start downloading. This is an advert. It will ask me to save. I'll choose where I want to save the file. I want to save it in my downloads, and I press save. You can also download inland waters. You can download road. You can download railway. You can download the elevation model. You can download the land cover of country. For instance, this is the land cover of Nigeria. So I can decide to say I want to download land cover of Nigeria. Land cover shows you the structure of a particular country. Places that are built up, places that are forested, places that are bare land, places that are water bodies and all that. Those are land cover, showing you the way it's distributed. I can decide to go for population. So these are one of the places you can be able to download GIS data from. Then also we have Earth Explorer, earthexplorer.gis.gov, usgs.gov, earthexplorer.usgs.gov. We have them. If I click on this link, it's going to take me to an interface, this interface. And from this interface now, I can decide to look for a map or an area which I want to download. I can start clicking here down to zoom down, or if I have my mouse, I can use my scroll button on the mouse to scroll into anywhere I like. Then you use your click and hold to palm the map. So you can now start zooming in to the area. Had it been, for instance, I want to download for Kogi East, right? I click here, 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 here. I click. So what am I trying to do with the clicking? I'm trying to cover the area which I'm interested in. So the system will, you see the system will record the coordinates of those areas within these places. You see land, latitude, longitude, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the boundary of the area which I want to download. Then I can now go down here to say, it will ask you, search from which year to which year do you want to download. You click here, you select the year on this calendar, you select the year you want to download, or you can decide to input it using manually, or so you can use the calendar to be able to do that. Then you see cloud cover. For cloud cover, you use cloud cover to reduce the cloud cover which is present on the image. Sometimes I reduce normally to 10% so that I will not have much cloud cover. Then you go to your data set here, data set. From data set here, you can see a lot of images you can download. You can see Landsat, you can see land cover. For Landsat, you can see different levels. There are some of them that are paid, there are some of them that are free. So depending on which one you are looking for. You can see collection level 2. Here you can see imageries like Landsat 8 to 9 OLIS and other things. If I select it and I click on results, you can go to additional criteria, but if I click on results, I don't need additional criteria of what to do. If I go to results, now the system will load and give you every data with it for that area. It will load and give you every data for that area. You see this one have a cloud cover here. You see some cloudy things here. If I click on this footprint, it will show me the area which the image recover. The particular image I download, where it covers. If I click on this image close to it, it will put the image inside the place so I can preview the image and see what the image look like. You see this one have a lot of cloud cover, so I don't need it. You can also see these other ones that have less cloud cover. If I click here, you will see the area it covers also, and you see this one have less cloud cover. So you can use that for this footprint to check the area which you want to download. You see, you can use it to check the area which you want to download. So that is it. So for instance, what I want to download is not the satellite imagery, which I can use to do a multiple set of analysis. Because for Landsat imageries, there's a lot of analysis you can use it to check. You can use it to check temperature, land surface temperature, evapotranspiration, vegetation classification or index, soil moisture index, and a lot of other index. You can also use it to map your land use. If what I need is not this data set, I can go back to data set. For instance, I need the elevation data to see the elevation data of the environment. I can click on this, I can uncheck this one, click on this elevation, and under this elevation, you can see a lot of this elevation here. You can see SRTM. You can also select SRTM. I can say I want the one that is void field. Void field means that those places that have minus something something, the system have filled them up. Void field means that those ones that have minus 27, 37, the system will fill them up so that they can be almost at the same level, like a surface level. If I click on this void field and I go back to results, the system will give me the footprint. So this is the footprint of this environment. If I click here, I will see the area which the place is covering. If I click on this place, the system will bring out the elevation for me so you can see the elevation and all that. So there's a lot of data you can download from here. You can download satellite imagery, Landsat, you can download elevation data, you can download radar, you can download vegetation monitoring data, you can download a whole lot of data. This is one of the way you can be able to, get data for GIS. Now, aside from this data now, you can also get data from other existing documents. Other existing documents, you can also use them to get data. Let me give you an instance. For instance, I'm trying to map Nigeria. I'm trying to map Nigeria, produce a map of Nigeria, right? I can decide to get a data from somewhere. Maybe I'm trying to map mineral resources in Nigeria. I can decide to get to Ministry of Solid Mineral and get the list of minerals in Nigeria and their locations and input them in the map. So it becomes a source of data for your mapping. For instance, also, I can decide to, like, for in this map now, this is income level of these people within this particular municipal in Benin Republic, which is Cotonou. So if I decide to, I can get data for those by using my questionnaire or sampling questionnaires. And when I've gotten that questionnaire data, I can bring it into the ArcGIS environment and use it as mapping. So I can use it to produce maps, which I can be able to use to make decisions. So these are some of the ways you can be able to, gather data for GIS. So that is it. So I think that we have covered our first outline, our first course outline. So we will proceed to the next one. The first course outline says nurture of GIS data acquisition and mapping. So I've already gone deep into explaining more, even the environment of the GIS. So we are supposed to proceed to raster referencing and raster data processing, but I think that might be a lot of overload on you. So I need you to assimilate the ones that we have done. Then create your folder, a project folder. Your assignment is to create a project folder. Then inside that GIS working folder, create a folder called Enugu. Create a folder called Enugu, which we are going to be using as our working folder in the next class, when we now look at georeferencing, projection and grid, and also how to create layers. So I think that will be all for today. I don't think we will dive into georeferencing. Georeferencing is something you learn fresh. It's a bit dicey. If you get it wrong, you can produce a map that is entirely wrong. So I want to know if there's any question for me, so you can call it a day.
Hello, sir.
I can hear you.
Hello, sir. Okay, please. It's kind of a request. Can we actually get the video of this particular
Yes,
class
yes, I will send it immediately. I will
and
send it. I will
and
send it.
probably the previous ones? I
The
missed
previous
your
the,
last
pre-
two
the
classes.
previous one couldn't record completely because I think my memory was full. That one is basically introduction, the content on the material which you have. But this one, I think I have to free up my space so that I can be able to make recording for this particular meeting. Because this is
Okay,
this
please.
is this is where the stress begins. This is where we need the most.
All right, please. I'll be needing the video for
Of course, I will send it over.
we'll be able
Or
to be
probably
able to revisit
I'll
the
upload it
class.
on a YouTube where you can access it too. I can do that.
No, either ways, as long as we get it. Doesn't
Yes.
matter where you
Mm,
upload it. Thank you so much.
no problem. No problem. Okay. Franklin,
Sir,
any
yes,
issue?
no, no problem, sir. I'm fine, sir.
So you get the assignment. You people get the assignment.
Yes, I've
Yeah.
already, I created it while you were saying,
Oh,
telling us.
okay. So you screenshot and send to the group so that we see the progress.
Okay, sir.
Oh yeah, nah, thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. All
All right.
right, sir.
Mhm.